love this place!
Well, hello there. How are you guys doing today? Well, Wizards of the Coast cannot stop peeing down their own leg. This is pretty much becoming par for the course these days. They have very little to offer in the way of actual useful gaming content, so they are going for the money, as they say, merchandising.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Open up this door. Come, walk this way. Take a look. We put the picture's name on everything.
That's right. Just like old yogurt there, they are going to squeeze every drop they can out of this brand before they are probably forced to sell it eventually. Let's get right into it, shall we? Yep, and there we go. 0 days without embarrassing themselves, pretty much. It seems like this is something they are very good at these days. This comes courtesy of Game Rant, and I actually found out about it from my old pal, the OGGM. So if you can go over to his channel and throw him a subscribe and watch his content. He's a old school guy, been doing it for a while, and he's a very, very nice guy. So please go ahead and do that after you watch this video, of course. This comes courtesy of Game Rant. D&D reveals 5 new books. Oh my lord, what could they be? It's not an exaggeration to say D&D has exploded in popularity over the last decade. It sounds like it was written by AI. Thanks to actual plays like Critical Role, hit video games like Baldur's Gate 3. I think this probably was written by AI. While this has led to plenty of innovations within the TTRPG system itself, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think live plays and Baldur's Gate 3 has led to plenty of innovations within the TTRPG system. It's also sparked some unique spin-off books, such as Heroes Feast, a cookbook, the official D&D cookbook, yes. So what do they have cooking up? Well, they have a player's campaign journal with a Roper on the front, Mr. Roper, if you will. They have a DM's campaign journal with Avenger. They got to always dig into those member berries and give you a heaping helping of them because, like I said, they are pretty poor on their own original content these days. And we have the Warriors Wizards Compendium. I don't even know what this is. The Warriors and Wizards Compendium, a young adventurer's guide, is the latest entry in a series geared towards getting children and young adults into D&D, which includes kid-friendly advice on how to make and play characters for the system. Additionally, Dragons of the Realm is a new coloring book. So there's a coloring book wedged in here somewhere too, centered around the iconic namesake monsters of D&D. Then the Player's Campaign Journal and the DM's Campaign Journal are tools that feature prompts, indexes, and templates to help everyone at the table better chronicle their adventures, whether they're playing or running a D&D game. These journals are easy money for them. There's nothing creative about them other than some graphic design layout, but they don't have to ask any of their quote-unquote creative staff to do anything. It's just a bunch of blank pages, I think, where you write in either your notes, or your plans. Piece de resistance is this. Announcing the first official D&D crochet book. This is from the official Wizards of the Coast D&D Twitter or X account. Crochet your favorite creatures, wearables, and household items with 20 patterns inspired by the D&D multiverse. Wow. All right, so just drink it in. The same company that gave us the Tomb of Horrors, Planescape, Birthright, Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, is now just shilling a bunch of crap. And of course, I see a mimic there. They got to have a mimic in everything now. That's like their cutesy monster to bring in the kids. The kids all love mimics, and it can be yours for $30 for a crochet book. Yikes. Now, Mrs. D tells me that there are actually a lot of fantasy crochet patterns out there, so in some ways, they're not even being original here. This is really the bottom of the barrel. This is content for lonely ladies, cat ladies, bored ladies, not really gamers, at least not in large part. We have an account here on X that highly recommends this. Looks like a gelatinous cube. And then, of course, the D&D account responds with, love it. Not everybody is on board with it. Thankfully, our friend Rob Kuntz, Robilar himself, done some videos on him. I actually got the honor to talk to Rob a little while back. He's a great guy. One of the last living links between both Gary and Dave Arneson. He says in his account, the advent of fantasy in games via TSR has been reduced to shiny objects with no fantasy in it whatsoever. It's now a mediocre simulacrum patched together for the lifestyle crowd where anything goes to keep them in tune with fantasizing. The more incongruent, the more absurd, the more it has nothing to do with the pursuit of summoning and sustaining fantasy, the better. It takes skill to accomplish spiriting up fantasy, something that has been abandoned for cultivating fantasizing, a marketing department's dream come true. TSR sought the high road in that regard until it succumbed to the lure of money and power, the bottom line quest. Fantasy, as once understood in D&D, is now for the most part dead, and I do agree with Rob here. It lives on in many other parts, but the official name, the official company, this is almost like the last nail in the coffin here. Rob goes on, it's long been just another form of entertainment, like thousands of others that are. But this was not the case at its onset, something I can hardly forget for the horizons in creative thought that it engendered. And he said, answering the original one, there's nothing left to what we worked so hard to achieve from 1971 to 1974. Nothing but loose threads. Well said there, as he is, of course, talking about the crochet book. Rob was hardly alone in his disdain for this book. Many others weighed in, including John Douglas, who's a very good author. He says D&D is officially a brand for middle-aged women and men with testosterone levels equal to a eunuch. Matsu Star asks, what happened to D&D? I wish I knew, brother. I wish I knew. And you see some others here. How You've Fallen, not in an epic way, in ridicule. The brand is dead. Someone asking if this is real to the AI of X, Grok. And then the befuddled owl tells them to just stop. Not a Keynesian says that this sounds about right, and he's going to stick with advanced D&D. Probably a wise choice. Demel Torns. My wife gave me one of those, so I can have fun while she's on a trip with her boyfriend. That seems to be the market they want, Demel. Is this a serious post? Your game is bleeding players to other franchises, and this is the stuff that you come up with. At this point, just sell the IP. It's a disgrace. This is so stupid. You're bloating tomorrow's landfills with lifestyle shit instead of focusing on producing a game worth playing. Are you well? Do you realize you're actually selling D&D? This probably sums it up the best. You guys are just constantly embarrassing yourselves with this sad cat lady nonsense. D&D is cooked. You know, there's one in every crowd. My daughter's going to love this. And that really is who they're going to now. That's the market they want. They think their market is, I think, with preteen girls and young women. But I don't know if you can rest the flagship brand on just that market. And this kind of book, this crochet book, the coloring books, these adventure journals, where's the inspiration? Where's the creativity? I think they're putting out some Forgotten Realms books, which is just going to be a rehash. They're probably using AI to scour some old material and just update it. I don't think they have an original bone left in their body. They certainly don't have the talent there. I think they know that we know they don't have the talent there anymore. You know, for the longest time, I would say, look, it's not my job to tell you, what to play. If you're having fun with something, God bless. And look, if you're still playing 5e or something like that and you're enjoying it, that's fine. But I would just say anybody new that's coming in, don't support Wizards of the Coast anymore. If you're a guy, especially if you're a middle-aged white guy, they hate your guts. Just look at the people that have worked there, the people that they continue to hire, the people that they continue to promote. they do not like you if you were one of the OGs of this game. They really, really don't. And there are other people out there, old school and new school, who don't feel that way about you. We talk about them a lot. Greg Gillespie's Dragon Slayer, Jeff Talanian's Hyperborea, Alex Macreese's Adventure Conqueror King 2, Acts 2, Shadow Dark by Kelsey Dione, if you want an example of someone in the new school. Also, Castles and Crusades by Troll Games. All better options. Honestly, at this point, they're better games too, because as you'll find, if you're coming into like 5th edition or D&D 2024, it'll start out fine, it'll start out great, but it'll start to fall apart at around 5th or 6th level when you realize the monsters that you've made. Not the ones that you throw at your players. Your players are the monsters because they will be able to beat everything you throw at them. They are unstoppable at about 6th or 7th level. So save yourself the time if you like that kind of stuff. If you're really sold on the whole 5th edition thing and that sort of mechanic, just get Shadow Dark. It's really stripped down and dangerous. But if you really want to go back to an era that liked the kind of player that you are, like I said, try one of them old school games like Dragon Slayer, or Hyperborea. These retro clones, as we say. There's literally nothing good that I can say about Wizards of the Coast these days. There's nobody there now. Not even like Chris Perkins, somebody that far down the rung on the ladder. This is it. I mean, this is Goddard Damerong. This is the fall. So, we can just laugh at it and let them know that we're laughing at it and make them a laughing stock. They are not to be taken seriously by gamers. They just want to sell you, girly crap, coloring books, stuff for mentally ill weirdos, because that's who they think they want their audience to be, and let them have them. That's what I say. Let them have them. No need for you to spend your money there. I know a lot of the audience of this channel has already moved on, but there are new people coming in at any one time. So it never hurts to, as I said, point and laugh. And if anybody loses their job due to lack of business, don't feel too bad for them. Pretty much they're just DEI hires. So they'll get hired by somebody like Paizo or Cobalt Press or anyone like that who's not afraid to hide untalented people in their ranks. That's what happens in a lot of these companies. There'll be like a couple of talented people who will pull all the weight for all the people who do nothing. But the problem at Wizards of the Coast is those people are gone, the ones that pulled the weight for everybody. So now they're looking around and wondering, what can we do? Well, we can't do anything. None of us has ever made a setting of our own. We can't even do a proper adventure anthology, like a mega adventure. Look at someone like Greg Gillespie, who's done 4 mega dungeons and is working on a couple more. One man did enough gaming to keep your table occupied for a year and a half or 2 years. And with all the resources of Wizards of the Coast, they can't come up with something like that. The only thing they can do is they reprint Strahd at every iteration, every new edition. And then they'll just try to find some way to tie something back to like the Tomb of Horrors, or something like that. So it's a sad state of affairs, as Rob Kuntz said. But like I said, I'm kind of enjoying it. It's actually kind of amusing. So go get your crochet needles and pony up your $30 and get to work on that gelatinous cube. No, don't do that. Do not support these people in the least. Support people who like you and support things that are going to help your gaming, not the shelf above your gaming books. That's really stupid. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Remember, every Wednesday, 7 p.m., join us live for The Lair. Me and a couple of buddies crack wise about events of the day, both gaming and non-gaming, and we have the best chat out there. All right, you guys take care. Peace. Love you.